Friends is remembered as one of the funniest TV shows ever made. 6 friends, a coffee shop, and 10 seasons of laughter. But what if I told you that behind every joke was a hidden struggle? The more you look at these characters, the more you realize that Friends wasn't really about comedy. It was about 6 broken people trying to heal. Let's start with Chandler Bing. Every time Chandler makes a sarcastic joke, everyone laughs. But those jokes weren't just for entertainment. They were a defense mechanism. Growing up, Chandler watched his parents' marriage fall apart in a dramatic and embarrassing way. Instead of expressing pain, he learned to hide it behind humor. That's why some of his most emotional moments come much later, especially when he proposes to Monica. For perhaps the first time, Chandler stops joking and allows himself to be vulnerable. Now let's talk about Monica, the confident, competitive perfectionist. But Monica's obsession with being perfect didn't come from nowhere. The flashbacks show a younger Monica constantly judged for her weight. Even worse, her parents often compared her to Ross and made her feel like she wasn't good enough. Her cleaning obsession and need for control weren't just personality quirks. They were ways of proving her worth. Then there's Ross, the smart one, the successful one, the favorite child. Yet Ross may be the most emotionally fragile character in the group. His first marriage ends in heartbreak. His relationship with Rachel becomes a cycle of love and loss. And who could forget the famous phrase, "We were on a break"? Behind the joke was a man terrified of being abandoned again. Rachel's story looks glamorous on the surface. Fashion, success, romance. But her journey begins with fear. She literally runs away from her wedding because she doesn't want to live someone else's life. Her first job is far from the dream career she imagined. And even when she finally gets the opportunity to move to Paris, she faces one last impossible choice. Rachel's story isn't about romance. It's about discovering who she really is. Now Joey, the funniest and most carefree friend. At least that's what it seems. Behind the smiles are countless acting failures and disappointments. For years he struggles to make it as an actor. Then something unexpected happens. He falls for Rachel. For one of the first times in the series, Joey experiences real heartbreak. And as the group slowly changes and grows up, we often see Joey alone in the apartment he once shared with Chandler. A reminder that time moves on for everyone. And finally, Phoebe, the strangest friend, but also the strongest. Phoebe's past is filled with tragedy. She loses her mother. Her father disappears from her life. And much of her story revolves around trying to understand where she came from. When Phoebe finally reconnects with her father and later gets married, those moments feel so emotional because we know everything she endured to reach them. And that's the secret most viewers never notice. Friends wasn't about 6 perfect lives. It was about 6 people carrying pain, insecurity, heartbreak, and loneliness. The comedy made us laugh, but the struggles made us relate. Maybe that's why Friends still feels timeless. Because beneath every joke was something deeply human. And perhaps that's what real friendship actually is. Not finding perfect people.